What are you hiding for? Me and Charlotte are on our way to get hitched. You'll see in a minute. But we're passing what used to be the David Brown factory in Meltham. So there it is. So yesterday you saw it from the air, now you can see it from the road. Look at this rare beast. It's come from where Robin used to work, the British Antarctic Survey. You see the sticker? And it's got saucy tracks all round on it, and it's even got brackets for a loader that's over there. Got front linkage on it, and they use it for umbilical spreading. Big slurry pit there. It's a monster. I think they were about 10 grand a corner then when they came out. So on the cost of a tractor, I don't know what, they were about 100 grand. It's like another 40% on top of it on tracks, but presumably it's because it was working in the snow. But now it does umbilical work with that. One of them brushes for them hitching themselves, the cows. That tractor. Cows are playing with that now. Are we in the way of that feeder wagon?
Yeah, it's coming down.
Feeder wagon there. Has that got a steering axle, that?
Yeah.
Breakfast ready. What's the rubber flat that? It bubbles back, doesn't it? Oh, the belt stopped really. How many litres is that tanker then, or gallon do they call it? And what's the Abbey one? Wow. It smells like when you block the combine in wet ground.
I suppose basically it's got additive on it.
This is whole crop wheat, so it's cut before it's ripe with a forager, piled up, sheeted off with an additive for the cows to eat. And then there's all the different straights, so soya and all sorts of other things. We mix it together in the feeder wagon. So the automatic scraper just moving down the cubicles slowly, keeping them clean all the time. When it gets them, they just have to step over it because it only goes dead slow. This is the mechanism for the chains for the automatic scraper. You don't want to be fixing that when it goes wrong. Goes in there. All snuggly in your coats. It's like a big water slide, that tunnel. The calf taxi. Just been down the hill there by this huge mast, picking up this hitch to go on the back of the fence to pull the chipper. So I've just been shown around the dairy farm down there as well. Is that like 8 foot wide or something? No, 2 meters. Oh, so you put it on that fabric and then you press it then into the clothing and it fuses together. You put it on the paper and then it goes in that.
Yeah.
So
these.
right, yeah, and then that's the clear fabric.
Yeah.
Sits down.
And there's one you preferred earlier. And then you just sew it together.
Yeah.
Wow. No pressure now. Look at that. Just like making curtains. I've just been looking at different things this morning and there's an MB track in the yard. Yeah, so I've been to pick a hitch up for the back of the fence for moving the chip around, one that fits in the rails at the back. I know this the other day I said I was looking for a hitch and I think people thought I just meant the hitch, but I actually meant the bit that goes in the rails. So I've just picked one of them up now, had a look around, that's where that John Deere was. And then I've been to a place that does sublimated artwork on clothing. So it basically, you print it on like a transfer paper and then you put it in a machine and it gasifies the ink and impregnates it into the fabric, so it's in there forever, so it won't ever fade or won't ever peel like a lot of fabrics can do. So people are asking about different clothing and stuff, so we're looking into what designs they can do in that way, and it'll be clothing that's got a tighter knit fabric so it stops the wind and it's a bit more water repellent than your sort of standard hoodies and different things like that. So we're going to have a look what t-shirts and what hoodie designs they can come up with, and if we think it's right, then we might have some ready for Christmas is the plan. Rest of the fleet is parked up because it's wet now. It's rained, wasn't supposed to. 936 is going into the workshop to have the front drive shaft taken off. It's only been here 5 minutes and Robin's took it to bits already. The handbrake's sticking, so Robin's going to take the trumpet housing off now and try and free it from behind. Just pulling that off now, but the weight's all in that end, so we're going to put a ratchet strap around that to the legs and stop it tipping her over. A little bit of gear oil coming out, and then we can get inside there and see what's going on with the brakes. Took the trumpet housing off. We thought the brakes were going to be inside there. They're not. They're inside here. So now we've got to take this next slice off. Not got an Allen key big enough, so I'm going to make a tool out of this bolt to undo it. This fits in the hole, so I could lock a nut onto it, or two nuts together. But I think I'll just weld an old socket to it, and then it's just like a universal key then. Made a tool out of a 5/8 socket because we don't really use them much unless you live in Canada or America. It's a bit rough, but it'll do for now. And a new glass has turned up as well for the 1455. Got the wheel off in here now, the two Andrews, and they're just going to take the hub off now so we can get inside, take the circlic off for the drive shaft. Got the hub off this one now. It's like two tractors in bits simultaneously. There's the pinion gears, and then there's a hub now. There's a circlip behind that shaft, which obviously sticks through, so we'll have to take that ring gear off, I think. Took that off and there's no brakes. Now we've got to take this next bit off because they're inside there. We thought we'd got that way through here, but there's a little linkage there, little lever, which we don't know what it does because there's nothing was connected to it. Anyway, to get the roll pin out of there, we've got to take the fuel tank off. So what we thought was like an hour of a job is now at least a 2-hour job so far, and we're nowhere near done it yet. Taking that off is a bit of a pain because the roll pin's going in that direction. The fuel tank's in the way. The fuel tank is full and joined together by a metal pipe. So we're going to see if we can get some extension bars on a punch and try and drift it out from behind the tank. Try hitting it now. Not really, no.
Right, have we got the...
We got it with that arrangement. Slid up the side of there. What an arse that was. Anyway, it's off now. So now we can pull that off. Mini Merlot job now. Ragging it off so it just falls on the pallet, hopefully.
Give me back.
This isn't coming off very easily at all. Robin's under there with a bar. Yeah, it's defo going.
Keep missing. Is it going?
Yeah, I think it's the middle shaft that's tight now. It maybe wants a bit of weight under it. Hold on. Finally, it's off. Finally. Doesn't look a lot wrong. I'll boom it in a bit. So that's the brake drum. And that's the brake shoes, which are tiny and they're sticking. So we need to sort out what's going on. They're probably unfreed now, we've hammered it that much. That's the drive shaft off now. It's damaged inside here. Anyway, a new one is got to come from America. It might take a week. So I'm going to take it to somewhere tomorrow called Northwest Prop Shafts and see if they can make us one. Got this hitch, hopefully. Will it slide in or is it too wide on this tractor? It would have been a 900.
How you doing?
That's it. It's heavy, isn't it?
enough light.
That slides in there. It'll go with the brake pipes in the way.
Top link.
Yeah, the brake pipes in the way. But we're not sure if the chipper hitch is too big to fit in that jaw. Oh well, Sam's lugged it round and it fits. So now that goes on there. So when we pull the chipper with the tractor, we can pull it from a higher up point. Because it being tri-axle, it like nods and it can lift the back of the tractor up, whereas now it can't. So that's good. It's off a fence as well, so it fits and it's the right colour. It's now 6:30 and the sun's going down, and this is the closest I've got to the MB track all day because I've obviously been busy. So I'm going to start it up, put it in the shed, and we'll have a closer look at it tomorrow. Someone also as well, there's a couple of people, someone might have a bonnet to fit, side panel to fit, and there's another guy messaging me to say that he's got some as well. So I need to take some measurements and see whether they've got them that'll work. Size of that badge. I'll tell you one thing, it feels like it's got a bit of power. Got some acceleration, it must be so light. I'll pull on a weighbridge. 4.78 tons. It's no wonder it flies. Its power to weight ratio must be like phenomenal. I think I don't know how many horsepower it is, but it's definitely a light tractor for the poke it's got. And it sounds awesome as well. Taking this sort of half shaft brake assembly off, we didn't undo a bolt on this plate for that lever and we couldn't see, so it sort of went out a bit funny, and we've damaged the brass bush inside there. So does anyone know where I can get one of them from? Pretty handy, because we'll have to change it before we put it back together. We took it apart to free the brakes. Now I know it's only been in the yard an hour before we took it to bits, but when we went to look at it we knew that the brakes were sticking on, and that was part of the deal that we said we'd sort them. But Richard has totally sort of like polished it up and it looks amazing. It's hard to see now because it's going dark, so we'll have a proper look at that and the MB track tomorrow. But yeah, looks good. Can anyone spot the similarity between the fast track and the MB track? Pretty similar, aren't they? Bit of a random day today. Just might want to mention as well the whole fertilizer thing. So CF Fertilizers produce nearly 1.2 million tonnes of fertilizer a year, but this year, because of the different jiggery pokery and they're shutting the plants and they're only opening one for a little bit, they're only going to make just short of 300,000 tonnes. That's a huge vacuum in the market. And now urea, which we buy, instead of being £244 a tonne, I think I paid last year, is now 540 I paid, but it's now up to £700 a tonne. But the problem is that they know that we'll pay it, because without it the yields are half, and if wheat's £200 a tonne and you put 200 kilos of fertilizer on, then you get the uplift. So there will be a point where it'll completely be uneconomical and people on marginal ground will cut back, and a lot of Russia will do that, even though they're the ones that sell the gas to make it, and South America are looking at cutting back the plantings on marginal land where they won't get the return off of fertilizer. So it is a little bit of a worry of what's going to go on, and there could be food inflation and different things like that. But anyway, I've got 2 broken tractors, got 2 with 3 legs. One of them is self-inflicted because we were taking it apart anyway, because the handbrake was sticking and we couldn't play with it until we fixed the handbrake. The MB track sounds awesome as well, and the 1455 sounds even better. A few birthdays today, loads of them. And Isabel, whose birthday is in Nebraska, and her dad used to live in Chester, so someone in Nebraska's not watching. So tell your friends in Nebraska, because apparently America's big on YouTube. Anyway, that's it for today. If you're a new subscriber, say where you're watching from. And then tomorrow we'll have a bit of a play on the 1455. Maybe if we get, actually no, we won't get it back together tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be dry enough to do some spraying. But we'll need one of them brass bushes. If you want to watch another video, it's up there. If you want to subscribe, it's over there. Thanks to all the new subscribers, and let's see how big the channel we can grow in a year and see what we can do with it and whatever. And hopefully if anyone's interested in any sort of clothing for Christmas, let me know what you'd prefer: t-shirts, hoodies, coats, whichever. Just leave a comment, stuff like that. Give us some feedback. I'll see you tomorrow.